Hello students, today we shall learn chemistry for IGCSE Chapter 1, Planet Earth. Today's topic is carbon cycle. This video is useful for students of lower secondary classes as well. Hope you like the video. If you do so, then kindly press like, share, subscribe and bell icon to get all upcoming videos. What is carbon? Carbon is the 12th most common element in Earth, making 1% of the whole crust. Whole crust means total amount of the mass of Earth. It's found in rocks, oceans, atmosphere, and all living organisms. It's the vital part of all organisms. And now we learn what is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is a gas which is the source of carbon in carbon cycle in atmosphere. It's only about 0.04% of atmosphere, though it's in a very tiny amount in atmosphere, but this is the main source of carbon, and carbon is the vital part of all living organisms. That's why carbon dioxide is a very important. Now we come on to carbon cycle. If someone asks you how to define carbon cycle, we can say that the carbon cycle is nature's way of reusing carbon atoms, which travel from the atmosphere into organisms in the earth and then back into the atmosphere over and over again. So these organisms are which things? These organisms are plants, animals, insects, like human being, everything. Everything is made up of carbon, organic compounds. And organic compounds are made up of carbon, and the carbon is given to these organisms by carbon dioxide. What are the four basic steps of carbon cycle? These are the basic steps. Number one is photosynthesis, decomposition, respiration, and combustion. So in these four steps mainly carbon cycle is complete. Now we shall learn that what are these four steps. This is a very easy and a simple diagram. It shows all these four steps. So what is photosynthesis? Using sunlight and water with carbon dioxide, plants make glucose. So they use sunlight and combined with waters, plus there are minerals as well which water takes up from the soil, and when they combine with carbon dioxide they make glucose, and this process is called photosynthesis. As you can see through the word equation of photosynthesis, carbon dioxide plus water gives glucose, and there's a byproduct, it's oxygen as well. So what is respiration? Actually, respiration is the opposite of photosynthesis. Animals and plants breathe out carbon dioxide when they respire. Means digest glucose. Means glucose, when added with oxygen, it is decomposed. It is broken down into carbon dioxide and water. So this is the respiration. Whenever animals and plant respire or breathe out carbon dioxide, and they provide this carbon dioxide in this way to the atmosphere. Then we learn combustion. Combustion in another way, how carbon dioxide is circulated in a carbon cycle. Wood and fossilized plants and animals from the fossil fuels which release carbon dioxide when burnt. Means when we burn fossil fuels or when we burn wood directly, we get carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. As you can see through the equation, carbon plus oxygen, that gives carbon dioxide. My question is, what is a fossil fuel? Fossil fuels are actually those living organisms when they were alive thousand or million years ago, and when they get dead, they were pressed under the very heavy layers of soil or layers of rocks, then they convert into petroleum, natural gas, coal. All these coal, petroleum, and natural gases, these are called fossil fuels. Now, then decomposition. What is decomposition? Composition means when you unite some elements together, you are making the uh, compound. So this is a composition of a compound. Decomposition means when you are breaking down the compound into its elements or the smaller compounds. This is called decomposition. So now when plants and animals decay after death, so carbon dioxide is released. We can check through the diagram that carbon dioxide how leaves atmosphere. First of all, we check with the photosynthesis. Green plants do photosynthesis. They take carbon dioxide and add up water. Then they make glucose and oxygen. So this carbon has become the part of the plant after taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Then we can see sea creatures change to limestone. And how come they are taking the carbon from the atmosphere? When carbon dioxide is absorbed in water, and in the water, sea creatures, either they are plants or animals, the plants they do photosynthesis, and the sea plants have been eaten up by the sea animals, marine animals, and then when they decay, they convert into the limestones under the bed of the sea. Another way, plants are eaten up by the animals, then plants and animals die and rot away over millions of years and are fossilized, as I told you before. When the plants and animals they rot away after dying for millions of years, then they become fossil fuels. So here another thing is plants pull carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Now, how carbon dioxide enters atmosphere? First of all, we check animals and plants breathe out carbon dioxide when they respire. Plants they use carbon dioxide to make glucose, like using carbon dioxide for the photosynthesis. That time, plants have taken away carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, but now it is giving carbon dioxide to the atmosphere when they respire. So basically, we must know that what is respiration. Animals and plants breathe out carbon dioxide when they respire. Respiration is the opposite process of photosynthesis. In photosynthesis, carbon dioxide, when added into water, it converts into glucose and oxygen. On the other hand, respiration takes oxygen and combines it with glucose to make carbon dioxide and water. So this is the respiration, it's the opposite process. In this way, carbon dioxide is given out from animals and plants to the atmosphere. Another way how the carbon dioxide enters into the atmosphere is when we burn the wood. Wood can be burnt. This creates carbon dioxide also. Carbon plus oxygen, it gives carbon dioxide. This process is also called combustion. Then fossilized plants and animals from fossil fuels which release carbon dioxide when burnt. Before that, we have learned that when the plants are fossilized, then they use carbon dioxide. But when these fossilized plants and animals, they are burnt in the form of coal, in the form of petroleum, in the form of natural gas, they release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere. Same way, limestone through the sea animals decay produces carbon dioxide when heated in the industry or moves back below the earth. In this way, they release carbon into the atmosphere or into the earth and becomes the part of carbon cycle. Another way, if we learn from our pictures, this is the atmosphere. From atmosphere, photosynthesis is happening and plants are taking away carbon dioxide, using it up and making some food for the animals, and animals are eating the plants, and directly animals are also respiring, and then again carbon dioxide is moving towards atmosphere. This is the short cycle. If we go for a little bigger cycle, when fossil fuels are also involved in it, we can check now. From atmosphere, plants are taking carbon dioxide. Plants are converting carbon dioxide into glucose and the food, and this food has been eaten up by these animals, or these animals are being dead, or sometimes these plants are also being dead, and they form fossil fuels after millions and millions of years ago. And then we burn the fossil fuels in the form of smoke. It's entering again into the atmosphere, happening in the carbon cycle. Why this carbon cycle is important? Carbon is vital to life as it's part of all living things, and without carbon, life wouldn't be existing. Now we can cover all the questions on page number 5. Question number 1. Coal is a fossil fuel produced from plant material underground over a long time geological periods of time. What are petroleum and natural gas originally formed for? So the answer is petroleum was formed from dead organisms that got buried in the sea millions of years ago. And these dead bodies got covered with layers of sand and clay. Lack of air, high temperature, and high pressure transformed dead organisms to petroleum and natural gas. So, this is the difference between petroleum, natural gas, and the coal formation. The next question, why are metallic and non metallic minerals and fossil fuels thought of as non renewable resources? Answer, because these exist in a fixed quantity in Earth's crust, and these were formed over millions of years and being used up much faster than were formed. So it's really hard to get these fossil fuels made, okay, but it's very easy to get it consumed. So that's why we cannot get as much quicker its production to get it used up. How does the sun keep carbon cycle working? The sun keeps carbon cycle working by providing light energy, and this light energy is used to carry out a process called photosynthesis by organisms. So organisms do photosynthesis using sunlight. If there is no sunlight, plants cannot convert carbon dioxide of atmosphere into glucose. So that's why they, if without sun, they cannot use carbon dioxide. Next question, write the word equations for photosynthesis, the complete combustion of carbon in air, and respiration. So photosynthesis is in green. You can see carbon dioxide plus water. This gives glucose plus oxygen. Then complete combustion is carbon plus oxygen. It gives carbon dioxide. And respiration means glucose plus oxygen. It gives carbon dioxide and water. So these are all 4 questions answers given on page number 5. Cambridge Chemistry for IGCSE. Think tank. Is carbon cycle balanced? No. The amount of carbon being added to atmosphere with the amount being taken in by plants and animals is not balanced. It's more, and it's entering more in the quantity to the atmosphere. So that's why it's not being balanced. Next question is, what effect is it producing if not balanced? We know that it's not balanced, right? but what effect it's producing. You can write that one in the comment box. Okay. There was a question in my previous video that was of water cycle. The question was, does the water cycle have a start and stopping point? No. The answer is no. The water cycle is a cycle that continues over and over again. Some might say that it starts with evaporation, but all the steps of cycle depend on one another. So good luck for your next previous question. I told you that one to be answered by you. What effect is it producing if not balanced? What? It's the carbon cycle. Okay. Thank you for watching and keep on waiting for the next video. Subscribe my channel and click on bell icon so that you may get the next video very quickly.